Hey guys, what is up? If you have watched any of these videos, this is the spoiler overview for Young Justice Ep.7 titled The Lady or the Tigress. Now, if you don't know what an overview is, basically what an overview is me just going over the episode, but me talking about the things that really spoke out to me about the show, geeking out about those things, and actually having a conversation about it. So if you're a fan of the show and you like having conversations about the different aspects of the show, maybe some of the story elements, maybe some of the characters' decisions, things that they're trying to relate to you in the show anyway, then this is the type of content for you. Otherwise, if you just want to hear the everything you just saw and that's it, well then yeah. But hopefully you like the other one more. So anyway, let's get into this, guys, because this episode was crazy. It was crazy. This one was probably my favorite episode this season. I'm pretty sure this episode is the best one that they've put out yet. To me, at this moment, this would equate to the... I guess Vandal Savage's episode would be better, maybe. I don't know. I would say this. Maybe, yeah. Vandal Savage's episode in Season 3 was probably better, but that was like, that episode for me was the best episode of the Season 3. I'm pretty sure this might be. And if it's not, man, props to them, because this episode was fantastic. This episode was fantastic. It's one of the many reasons that Greg Weisman and Brandon Vietti, they need to be the ones writing more comics, or they need to be the ones helping direct the stories for comic books in DC. Now, I know DC's doing whatever they do, but me personally, the storytelling in this is better than anything that DC's putting out. Yeah, it's better than anything DC's putting out right now. And I bet you, even the movies, I bet you are not going to be putting out storytelling like this. It's fantastic. So, anyway, let's get into it. The very first part, just, going down swinging, shows, Mcgunn basically getting revenge. And I think that if she would have, because she storms in, her brother was trying to rally his troops or whatever. She storms in, she attacks her brother. And I think that if he would have known, and if he would have been a part of actually killing Connor, I think she might have killed him. And it's sad to see that he just doesn't get it. Like, he doesn't get, because he understands that her future husband just died. Her fiance died. Like, he understands that, but he doesn't care. Because it's just so absent to him. Like, human beings, Kryptonians, whatever you want to call it, is just so absent to him. And I think if he would have been responsible for the death of Connor, I think she would have killed him. Straight up. And the fact that she doesn't, and she stops herself, shows that she's still a good person. She's still a hero. But now she doesn't know where to go. And it was so sad. She's like, who do I blame? Like, I can't blame nobody. I can't go and attack nobody. Like, what can I do? So sad, but such good writing, man. Such good writing. It's like, man, crazy. Okay. They open up with Tigress, Onyx, Savage. They're going to rescue Orphan. They do a bunch of stuff back and forth to help each other. And this is when they start playing some poetry. We're going to end the show talking about the poetry, because there's actually questions I have, and I'm curious to see what you guys think about this. And then maybe if I ever get lucky, if Greg Weisman or Brandon Vietti see this, I'd be very curious to see what they think. I would be curious to know their opinion, because I don't think this has any spoilers to it. I think this just deals with the episode itself and the philosophy of it and the reasonings. Anyway, we'll get into poetry later. But, it starts off with her kind of reading this story, this poetry, and it's like she's narrating it. Tigress is narrating this story in the background as they're doing their different missions. during this time, it kind of shows what's going on with Orphan, and it's kind of laying out the backstory between Orphan and her mother. And they have this little shot when she was a part of the League of Assassins where she had a target. And who was her target? The Joker. Now, I got more to say about the Joker, but what I'll say is when I was going to play the video and I saw Joker, I was like, what the crap? And they pulled one on us, and we'll get to it in a second, but they pulled one on us because when I saw that Joker was on the picture to click to watch the show, I read the bio, and it's like talking about how it says that Oracle, oh sorry, brain fart, it was saying that Oracle's past or decision or something like that, she was impactful on challenging Tigress's decision making, and it's like, are they gonna go there? Like, are they going to have Joker kill Barbara Gordon? Or not kill Barbara Gordon, but paralyze Barbara Gordon, like in the comics? Like, are they going to go that direction? Because I know some fans of Young Justice, specifically some girls. I know I've listened to some girls on the podcast talk about this. And even though I don't mind that direction with Barbara Gordon and what happens to her, I can understand how some people don't want that. And yet again, when it comes to storytelling, we're going to get into it in a second, but just, once again, man, Greg Weisman and them, Brandon Vietti, their team, fantastic job doing storytelling. But we'll get in that in a second, because I was wondering if they were going to touch on that or they were going to do something different, because they were definitely teasing that. And so I'm like, okay, what are they going to do? Are they going to go there? Are they going to go there? So anyway, clearly she's target. She has a target. The target's going to be Joker. So the next thing I want to bring up, I have mentioned this in every review I've done for this, and this time it's not going to be what I have said. I have brought up the fact that you can tell that there has been money issues, especially with the third season. And even with this season, it just seems like they don't get enough money for the show. Like, I'm super thankful we're getting it, but you can just tell maybe they're not getting enough money, which I still compliment on, because they find ways to tell stories in a compelling, interesting way with budget issues that they may have. And I think that no matter what, I think it's fantastic. And to be fair, I think I've even said this in the other reviews, you spend less money on one thing, so then you have more money for another thing. So I'm cool with it. It's just basically an excuse for me to plead to HBO Max to give these people whatever money they need to make the best show possible. Because this show, if allowed to be what I know it can be, I think could rival any anime that comes out. It could rival a lot of the shows that fans that are my age, younger, older, that spend so much money on anime, they would do this with Western cartoons and animation if you invest in it. If you companies invest in this stuff, the people will come and they will participate in it. And, maybe put out a better trailer for DC Fandom, but DC Fandom was terrible anyway, so, we'll excuse that. So anyway, but this one, no money issues. This episode was fantastic. The animation, especially when the scene with her swimming, and one of the characters cuts her leg and blood comes out and a shark's going to come and try to eat her. I mean, you could just tell that they put some money into just that. And it looked fantastic. It was great. Definitely dig that. So, something interesting, and maybe they've hit on this before. Maybe it was like a quick line. Because I remember the first season, a lot of times you would follow the heroes would achieve something, and then you would go to the light. And the light would be like, they would say something about how, yeah, they did this, but really our plan was this all along, yada, yada, yada. So maybe they said something about the Injustice League just being a pawn in the old series, or in the old seasons, but I'm just starting to rewatch the old seasons, and I just don't remember if that was an aspect or not. But I think it's interesting that the Joker basically turns on the light because he realizes that the light was basically just using him and he wasn't involved, so he was just ticked that he wasn't able to be involved. I thought that was cool. And so he wants to get revenge. I also think it's cool that the older people, because something I forgot to mention in the first episode thing I dropped, breakdown I dropped, was, and I was like trying to remember, I had my thing written down, my list, and I just couldn't remember what I was trying to bring up when I was talking about hero placement or level placement in heroes. And what I like about Young Justice is that they don't turn characters into jobbers that aren't supposed to be a jobber. And what I mean by that, they don't take a character that should be valued and respected in a certain way and then demean them to uplift another character, right? So, for example, you don't have to make Martian Manhunter look like a dweeb to build up Mcgunn. Like, you just don't have to do that. And I love how skilled Tigress has become. Because Tigress has developed, Artemis beginning, but has developed in such a unique character that now it's like, yeah, guess what? She is in a league above Cassandra Savage. And she's a league above Onyx. And all of them are. And having the resources of Oracle and things like that, it's just having that extra level, skill level than these people do. These people are shocked when Tigress and Oracle are doing things that are above their scale, I guess you would say. And I think that's cool because that's how I think it should be. Just personally, I like how they place, like, have some respect, know your place, know who's above or below, but just like you're in this world, make it feel real. And that's the way you can make it feel real, is that this character you've been following for a long time, yeah, she might have a few different skills and can do different things that maybe other characters can't do. So I think that's cool. Okay, so Mcgunn's sister comes to Earth. I think I predicted this. I think I said that either Mcgunn's sister or the Red Martian would be the one to come to Earth and like maybe join a team or whatever. Now I don't know if she's going to join any team. I don't know if she's going to be a part of Young Justice in any way. But not only do I think it's smart to bring a new Martian character in as a Miss Martian kind of character, especially if you want to have her be involved with some of the younger characters. I think it's just going to be good, and I think it's going to be good for Mcgunn as well, because you can tell that Mcgunn, maybe she ain't acting like she wants it now, but I think eventually she's going to want to have those bonding kind of relationships with people to mourn. So I'm glad she's going. I think that's great. Okay. So I don't remember. I think I said that there was a possibility that both of them could turn out to be good. And I don't remember what I said. I don't remember if I said I thought that Savage would be the one to be evil or not. I think I said that's probably what I thought it would be. But I'm glad that one of them did turn out to be evil. I'm glad that both of them weren't good. Because introducing Onyx, cool, new character, possibly new Bat Family character, great, awesome. But I actually like Cassandra being evil, and I thought it was cool to show her adapting a new skill level to show her evil side and to participate in this family legacy that they have. So thought that was cool that she stayed evil. Okay. So now to get into what was going on at the assembly First off, seeing Tempus, he didn't have any lines, but just seeing him, that was still cool. Tempus is probably one of my favorite DC characters, so I wish he was involved more into the show, but when I get to see him, super happy. Pretty sure they showed Donna Troy there as well. Would love to see an episode more with her, but I get what I get. Cool with it. Cool to see him. Introducing Batwoman. Now, I know they're coming out with a Catwoman movie, and Batwoman's going to be in that movie, and they kind of wink and nod at the idea that maybe these things are connected. And so this kind of won me over. I wasn't planning on watching that. I'm going to watch it. So I don't know when I'm going to watch it, but I'm going to watch it. So I'm excited to see more of her because, it was cool to see her. Now, let's get into this, okay? I'm impressed. Because even though people maybe, I know a lot of these fans of Young Justice would maybe want what happened to Batgirl to change. To me, if you change it, you better do it right. Like, you better do it good, because if it's not good, is it going to be worth it? Like, is it going to be worth your time doing? And I would say that it was. I think I may like... Oh, I don't know if I want to say that. Okay, I'm going to say it. Maybe I have to ponder on this. But what I will say is I think I might like this better than the normal version of how she gets paralyzed. I think I might like this better. Because whereas the other thing is more just, it's very traumatic. And I think it's something that deals with the relationship between Batman and the Joker. To me, this situation built the relationship up with Batgirl and Orphan. Because you could tell that Batgirl really cares about Orphan and wants to make sure that Orphan's okay. And like a sisterhood bond, right? In the Bat family. And I think this shows like the actual healthy side of the Bat family in this show than probably most do. And it makes it make more sense of why Batman would be such an adopted kind of father kind of person. And definitely makes Batman look more healthy, even though he still, trains kids. But the fact that Batgirl stopped Orphan from killing the Joker, well, two things with that. I guess she did do that to save the Joker, but I guess it was more so that she was doing it to save Orphan, which in such a quick scene did more for the Orphan character. Because, like, for example, Orphan to me, or Orphan and Damian Wayne to me are very similar characters to someone like Shang-Chi. But whereas the MCU in the Shang-Chi movie didn't really give you that true reason, didn't really show you that true reason of making a hard decision like killing someone would do to you and how it could change you and the consequences of that, and they kind of just brushed over it. This gave you a short amount of time to give you a cool example of how a character could change her motives, because she went to go kill this person, but then this other person took the place of that burden, and it came with a great cost, and came with her being paralyzed. So I thought it was fantastic. Like, it makes me care more, not just about Batgirl / Oracle, but it makes me care more about Orphan just as much. And I think if I like Orphan as Orphan, I like the Orphan name, but if they ever change her name from Orphan to a new hero name, in the Young Justice universe, I would prefer her to be Batgirl than Spoiler. I'd rather Spoiler stay Spoiler and let her become the new Batgirl if they ever go that direction, because, like I said, I thought it was fantastic. Okay. Now, I brought up the fact that Chester comes into the rescue. You know, they're fighting, they're doing all this stuff. Savage turns out to be the evil one. I think I've already said that. But, you know, Chester does come back to save the day. You know, they get in this big battle, and then it kind of ends with them being surrounded by who they're surrounded by. So it's like, what's going to happen next? I have a feeling that the Bat family is going to show up to help next episode, but we'll see, because this will be the last episode next week of this arc. So I think the Bat family may show up, because I mean, she's part of the Bat family. You got to help the Bat family, but we'll see. Or maybe Batgirl just finds a way to save everybody. I don't know, but man, fantastic. And so then it ends with the end credits with Martian Manhunter, Mcgunn, and her sister, you know, flying back to Earth. And then it starts to play this poetry. And I decided to look it up because I have a question for you guys, and then I actually have a question for myself. Okay? So let me pull this to screen share. Okay. So I went ahead and looked it up. It's called... What is the play called? Lady or the Tiger. Lady or the Tiger by Frank something. I don't see it. Anyway, it's Lady or the Tiger by Frank Bouton or something like that. Oh, Frank Stockton. Okay, Frank Stockton. And so this is my question, okay? Now, you're really following 3 different characters. And you're following Tigress, Orphan, and then Batgirl. Well, no. Tigress is the narrator. But you have Orphan, Batgirl, and Miss Martian. Or, if you look at it another way, there's 3 different stories going on. There's Miss Martian's story, there's Tigress's story, then there's Orphan's story. So, my theory is that, and maybe I'm totally wrong, but I think that each one of these is... Or maybe it's 4. I feel like each one of these kind of describes one of the different characters and what they're going through. I think that trust versus betrayal, I could see that, you know, maybe. Or the versus true love, okay. I don't know. Determinism versus free will, is that more of Orphan because, you know, her free will was taken away from her? But then at the same time, you know, who is in the no-win scenario? Is Artemis in the no-win scenario? Is, you know, Miss Martian in the no-win scenario? I haven't just sat down and read the actual story, really. I kind of skimmed over it. But I think it's interesting. And I think it shows just the depth of writing that Greg Weisman and them do, and how they have these elements. So what do y'all think? What elements of the themes of this story do you feel applied to the characters in this episode? That's my question. I'm curious to what y'all know, because to be honest with you, it's late. I came home from work to watch the episode at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm doing this review, and I'm probably about to go to bed. But later, I will definitely try to read this story and then see if I can learn a little bit more about it, because I feel like it will just add to the show itself, which is what good writing is. It's something that you can just enjoy if you want, but if you want to dig deeper, you're going to get better enjoyment and feel more fulfilled with the story that you saw. So anyway, totally loved it. Again, Greg Wiseman, Brandon Vietti, the Young Justice writing team, just the team in general. Thank you guys. Fantastic episode. Can't wait for next week. But anyway, guys, what y'all think, let me know down below. And likes, all that stuff's most appreciated. But, hopefully I can earn that from you guys. So